What's up YouTube, Dragoon here, going to be showing you guys my Gishki Destiny Hero deck profile. The deck's more of a fun-based deck than competitive, just because it has a select number of big plays it can make, and it really hurts when your opponent makes an Aturia Beast, which to me decks seem to be able to do that. I mean, there aren't a ton, but from what I've been testing, 6 Samurai can do that, and from the rumored list coming up, 6 Samurai is probably going to see a little more play, and that just really hurts. Plus, having your cards get negated by Shien or Logia just is not fun. Plus, the deck can be a little more slow-paced versus some of the other fast-paced decks. However, the deck is still really fun to play in my opinion. It's something different, and that's what I love about it. So to get started, we've got our ritual monsters. We've got Gishki Minduggus, Tetroger, and Gus Kraken. Gus Kraken is the most important ritual monster in this deck. It allows you to make your biggest plays. So when it's summoned, you get to look at 2 random cards in your opponent's hand and shuffle one of those back in the deck. So it allows you to see what your opponent's playing a little more, understand the situation a little better, and then make them get rid of one of their cards. It's a great card. It's the one you're going to want to use the most often. You really just kind of want to recycle this card and ritual summon it as often as you can, is what I've been kind of doing in my testing. As you can see, all these guys are level 6, so you can see the deck is a level 6 theme. And as far as the other two, Minduggus is let you recycle some of your cards and put some of your stuff, your opponent's stuff, back in their deck. And Tetroger can kind of set up your graveyard if you really need to, but most of the time he's just good because he's 2600. And also, a problem with this deck is sometimes it can be hard getting rid of your opponent's really strong monsters. I was doing Psychics the other day, and they made Ultimate Axon Kicker, and that hurts. 2900 can be kind of rough in this deck, but we have ways around stuff like that. So, anyway, we've got 3 Gishki Shadow. He searches out for your Gishki Alchemir, which is the ritual spell card, and he can also be used as the entire tribute for a Gishki ritual summon. So definitely you want him. 2 Gishki Vision. He also can be used as a full tribute for a ritual summon, and he searches out your Gishki ritual monsters. Now I only play 2 of him because once you get pretty much 2 of your Gishki ritual monsters, we'll say for example we've got our Gus Kraken and our Tetroger. Once you get those 2, you can just keep recycling them off of the Alchemir's effect, which allows you to shuffle it into the deck and then add 1 ritual monster from your graveyard to your hand. And so I don't want to see him when I already have these 2. But however, definitely want to play at least 2 so you can get to these guys in the first place. So that's that. And to help get all of those cards, we've got 3 Gishki Abyss. When he's normal summon, or when he's summoned in any way, you can add a Gishki with 1000 or less defense from your deck to your hand, except himself. So that makes him really good because you can get your visions, you can get your shadows, and you can even get Gus Kraken. I wish he was a little stronger, or maybe higher level to go along with that, but I can understand why he's not. So he's still pretty good in his own right. I just wish he was a little better. Still a really good card for the deck and really important in my opinion. And to round out our Gishki monsters, we've got 2 Gishki Beast. He's really cool. His effect is when he's normal summon, you target a level 4 lower Gishki in your graveyard and special summon it in face-up defense position. So, oftentimes you might want to make a play with Gishki Abyss because, you can just keep using his effect, keep searching your deck for more cards. Obviously, another card that hurts this deck is Thunder King, but it's really good to go Gishki Beast into Gishki Abyss, grab whatever piece you're missing to make that ritual summon, and even if you are still missing a little bit to get that tribute going, these guys just happen to work out to be level 6. So it's really nice, but ideally you don't want to have to use them for that. You want to be able to use your Gishki Beast or Gishki Beast to go for an Xyz play. But it's both of them are solid plays you can make. And our last 2 water monsters of the deck are 2 Deep Sea Diva. Deep Sea Diva is pretty good because it allows you to get your Gishki Vision more quickly, even though you can't discard it to get the ritual monster. But like I said before, if you already have the ritual monster, you're not going to be really wanting to draw Gishki Abyss. and this is or Gishki Vision. This allows you to search your deck for that vision, allows you to sort of thin your deck a little bit, so you can hope to get those cards that you need in the outside of the monsters. It also allows you to go into rank 2 Xyz monsters. So that's pretty cool, and you can even use it as a tuner monster, which I do sometimes in the deck, just not quite as often. It's just a good first turn card, and I really like using it. I really wish Abyss was a Sea Serpent, because then I could use her to get him, and oh man, that'd be great. Alright, so start off our hero lineup. We've got Stratos. I'm going to use him to search out our Destiny heroes. We don't use his other effect too often. We've got 2 Diamond Dude. There aren't a great number of solid Destiny heroes, so I figured 2 Diamond Dude would be good because we play quite a bit of spell cards, and a decent amount of those spell cards are normal spells, so if I can get that effect off, it's pretty great. And his 1400 attack isn't bad. But our more important Destiny hero is Malicious. He speeds up the deck a lot. You can use him as your tribute for your ritual summon, and then go ahead and use his effect, special summon the other one, make another ritual summon if you need to, or use him to get a rank 6 Xyz, which is always awesome. So a lot of different plays you can make with Malicious, which is really why I like him. You just make sure you get him in the graveyard as quickly as possible. Last monster is Gorz, because we don't set a lot in this deck, and Gorz just helps us give us that one more level of protection from our opponent's OTK plays, or just help us get another strong monster out on the field. Alright, on to spells. We've got our 1-of spell cards. Monster Reborn, Dark Heavy Storm, pretty self-explanatory. 1 Reinforcement of the Army, and 1 Power of Duality. Now, for the 1 Power of Duality, I'm only playing 1 because the deck wants to special summon quite often. And the deck is already decently consistent as it is, because we've got the Shadows, we've got the Visions, and we've got the Abyss to search, we've got Stratos to search, and we've got this to search. So, in theory, we should be able to get our stuff when we want it, but sometimes it doesn't happen, and plus, I didn't really know what else to put in for the last card, so I figure why not Power Duality. But yeah, that's why I'm only using 1, because technically we should be able to get our stuff when we want it, but you never know. And it just can help you set up stuff if you have to do that. But 1 seems to be working decently well for me. Our 2s, we've got 2 Mystical Space Typhoon and 2 Destiny Draw. Pretty self-explanatory. Destroy spells and traps, and then go ahead and get our Destiny heroes where we want them and draw cards. Alright, next up is our 3s, which I'll do individually. We've got 3 Gishki Aquamirror. This is what the whole deck's based around, pretty much. Gets you your ritual summons out. You can use it to shovel this back in the deck, and then put a ritual monster from your graveyard into your hand. So it kind of helps you alleviate that cost that comes with ritual summons, because they are kind of like a minus if you think about it. And this lets you constantly keep recycling this card, so you should be able to ritual summon as much as you want, provided you can draw into the right stuff. And then we're playing 3 Miracle Fusion. We definitely want to go into Absolute Zero as much as we possibly can in this deck, because he's what kind of gives us that removal of our opponent's monsters. And I play the max Miracle Fusion because there's not a whole lot of other ways in this deck to kind of get around tough situations. So I want to be able to get to that Absolute Zero as often as I possibly can to have that out. And then lastly, we've got 3 Salvage. This card is really important because it's what allows you to make those really quick plays and reuse your Gust Krakens in the same turn. So you can get your Abyss back, you can get your Shadow, your Vision, your Beast, you can get all that stuff back, and it's a +1, so we always want to have it as quickly as we possibly can. And our 1 trap is Spiritual Water Arts Aoi. I like this card because I don't like to leave my Gishki Abyss just sitting on the field. So this lets me get rid of it and get rid of a card on my opponent's hand. Yeah, I really like this card. It's one of my. I really like the spiritual art cards, so that's kind of why I'm playing it. And it's always fun to use this and tribute off Absolute Zero. It's great. Alright, onto the extra deck. So, fusions. 3 Elemental Hero, Absolute Zero. Very important. He can get really, really powerful. I've had him go up to like 4,000, 4,500. He gets really strong, and he's what you want to use, like I said before. The deck itself doesn't have a whole lot of ways to get rid of strong monsters. This is pretty much what you're going to do to get rid of those strong monsters. And his effect's amazing. If he leaves the field anyway, opponent's monsters all go to the graveyard. Alright. Synchros, playing 2. 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust Dragon. I thought about running a level 6 Synchro, but I didn't really have the room, and there aren't too many great ones. I would probably just ended up picking, like, Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, but I opted to go for both these, and it's been working well for me. Scrap Dragon's amazing, and so is Stardust, as we all know. And you can get these off more likely than you might think. Deep Sea Diva plus Malicious equals any of these. It's pretty cool. Alright, our rank 2s. Shining Elf and Gachi Gachi Gentetsu. Gachi Gachi Gentetsu is amazing. Gives all of your monsters an attack and defense boost, and then gives you a little bit of stall power with his effect. Shining Elf's not so good. I like Shining Elf because if I'm already establishing a decent amount of presence on the board, I can bring this out so whatever my opponent makes gets weaker. But there are situations where I'm just like, I wish I just had another Gachi Gachi Gentetsu, but lo and behold, I don't own one, and I don't really have any desire to get a hold of another one at the moment. So, Shining Elf isn't bad, it's just, there are situations where it's not ideal. Alright, our rank 4s. Photon Pappy Operative, amazing card in my opinion. Maestroke, Gaga Cowboy, Blade Armor Ninja, and Abyss Dweller. Now, these aren't the best choices you could get, I suppose. I mean, Blade Armor Ninja you're not going to make unless you're using Stratos and Diamond Dude. However, you can do it. Abyss Dweller is really, really good in this deck. You can make this guy so easily, and he gives all your water monsters that boost to 500 points. So he's probably the MVP of the Xyz. But I talked about a majority of these cards. Actually, I've talked about all these cards in my previous eHero deck video. So the explanations for these guys are all the same, and it's just Abyss Dweller this time around is a lot better than he is in the other deck. Alright, and our rank 6. We've got Photon Strike Bouncer, number 25 Force Focus, and, well, that's not rank 6. We'll get to that one, though. This I'd rather it be Exabeetle, but I don't have one, so this it is. And Strike Bouncer is amazing. It lets you negate effects and hit your opponent for that 1,000 damage, so it's really good. This guy does a similar thing. You can detach material from him to target a level 5 or higher face-up effect monster your opponent controls, and negate the effects of that monster until the end of the turn. So he's kind of cool, because my opponent had... what monster was it? Now I can't remember what monster it was. Oh, he had like a Naturia Barkion on the field, and so I was able to get this guy out. And basically, all I wanted to do was to detach the material, just so I could bring up my Gust Kraken again. So I just use his effect to negate that. So you can do stuff like that with this card, which is cool, but most of the time you're going to be wanting to make Photon Strike Bouncer. If I had another Photon Strike Bouncer, it'd probably be that, but ideally I'd want it to be Exabeetle. So, yeah, as you can see, like I said, this deck is not everything that it could be, but it still works enough for it to be played fun. Then this guy, Gaia Dragoon, the Thunder Charger. I include him with a level 6 because if one of these guys just runs out of material, you just overlay him right on top. And it's really good. But technically he's a rank 7, which you'll never make without using one of these. So he just lets you make these guys piercing damage and just kind of give them a little more use once they've run out of their Xyz materials. But once that happens, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So that's the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch you later.